Fetch some crumpets, put on the kettle, and make sure there's enough teacups for everyone.
I haven't seen anything so splendid since your brother George was here.
My brother George was an extravagant fool.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British period dramas. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the worlds of both series and miniseries, but we're leaving out the period comedy pieces for this round. That's another list for another time. Number 10, Cranford.
Are you sure my coming is not a trouble to you?
Trouble? It is a joy to us that your stepmother can spare you.
Taken from the novellas of novelist Elizabeth Gaskell, this 5-part BBC series focuses on the village life of a group of single and widowed women in the county of Cheshire. The episodes follow the ladies and their romantic entanglements, their gossip, and their fixation on order, tradition, and propriety, which is an object for pride for some and shame for others.
It is not in his nature to live alone.
What if it's not in my nature to live alone?
With an all-star cast comprising of acting greats like Judi Dench, Julia Mackenzie, and Eileen Atkins, the series' popularity led to a 2-part Christmas special and has won numerous awards for its acting, production design, and even its hairstyling.
Mrs. Johnston says some of them have been made by machine. Machine?
Number 9, Sense and Sensibility.
I may not have shown it, Marianne, but let me assure you I have been very unhappy.
This was the adaptation of Jane Austen's famed 1811 novel that modern audiences were waiting for. Set in the late 1700s, the series follows 2 young sisters, played by Hattie Morahan and Charity Wakefield, and their experiences with love, passion, and heartbreak.
There was no engagement. What?
Aired in 3 parts, this version of the classic tale is more sensual than the previous adaptations, and while gaining some controversy, the vast majority of audiences and critics loved the new take. Since its debut, the performances, score, and screenplay have been praised, while director John Alexander walked away with a Best Television Film Director award at the Shanghai Television Festival.
I wish I was a man. Girls can never do anything. Men can ride about the country and do things. And girls just sit and wait for things to happen.
Number 8, Wolf Hall.
He's a jumped-up nobody taking his chance because the times are disordered.
Well, I suppose you could say the same thing about me, Lady Rochford. And I'm sure you do.
Thomas Cromwell is a fascinating and controversial character in England's history, and in the deft hands of Academy Award winner Mark Rylance, the combination is breathtaking and dynamic. Alongside Damian Lewis as Henry VIII and Claire Foy as Anne Boleyn, Rylance headlines this 6-part series which follows the English lawyer and statesman's rise to power in the dramatic courts of the king, complete with mystery, deception, and murder.
I'll give the king a son, and I won't die.
Although some have blamed the show for an inaccurate portrayal of history, the series was praised for being beautifully filmed and well acted, and currently holds a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was years ago. I've changed.
Yeah, you are rich now.
Number 7, The Crown.
Till death us do part.
With an emphasis on historical accuracy and a proposed slate of 10 one-hour episodes per season for 6 seasons, it's hard to believe that this series, which was created for Netflix, would gain any following. But gain a barrage of worthy followers it has, garnering untold awards and universal acclaim for its elaborate sets, masterful cinematography, and its forceful performances.
Just remember who you're standing in for when I'm gone. My characterless sister. Your queen.
Starring Claire Foy as Queen Elizabeth II in a biographical account of the royal's life, joys, and sorrows through the decades of her reign, we can't wait to see what creator and writer Peter Morgan, the writer behind The Queen, has in store for us.
I cannot allow you to marry Peter and remain part of this family.
Number 6, Mr. Selfridge.
Gentlemen, welcome to Selfridge and Waring.
Based on the life of American Harry Gordon Selfridge, who came to London and started a successful department store, the series stars actor Jeremy Piven as the gaudy and visionary dreamer himself, the coiner of the phrase, "the customer is always right."
Well, if the customers want it, we shall give it to them.
Critics have praised the plot tension and the meticulous attention to detail of the show's costumes and set designers, which contributes greatly to the appeal of the show. Noteworthy acclaim has also gone to the show's performers, including actresses Zoe Tapper and Aisling Loftus, who many feel are the heart of the show.
You're an angel, girl, an angel.
Number 5, Peaky Blinders.
Don't f*** with the Peaky Blinders.
There's nothing better than a good gang story, and the thrills and suspense don't get any better than in this crime drama based on a real-life group of criminals from Birmingham. Set shortly after the events of World War I, this gangster epic stars Irish actor Cillian Murphy as Tommy Shelby, a violent crime boss, and acting veteran Sam Neill, a detective assigned to take the criminals down.
Alright, we've about 10 minutes. Make your peace with whoever.
The show has accumulated a lot of commendation for its writing, performances, and style, and has even attracted attention from big-name directors, writers, and musicians, several of whom have collaborated on the show, such as the late David Bowie.
Not bad.
Not bad, eh? Not bad. It's f***ing awful, that stuff.
Number 4, Jane Eyre.
The lesson of the day will be that lying is a sin, that all liars deserve to be shunned by their fellows.
Sure, we know that Charlotte Bronte's 1847 novel has been adapted too many times to be counted, but we feel that this 2006 miniseries, released in 4 episodes, contains all the hallmarks of a classic.
Tell me, magician that you are you absolutely sure you don't have a potion that can make me more handsome?
Starring Ruth Wilson's spellbinding portrayal as orphan Jane Eyre, and Toby Stephens as the masculine yet vulnerable Edward Fairfax Rochester, this miniseries manages to stay almost completely faithful to the novel and enhances it without resorting to any superfluous subject matter. The result is an incredible series which has been recognised repeatedly for its visual excellence, having won awards for art direction, costumes, and hairstyling.
Adele, you think too much of your appearance. It's the person inside you that matters. No one will love you for how pretty you are.
Number 3, North and South.
A gentleman wouldn't use his fists on such a pathetic creature, or shout at children.
I dare say a gentleman has not had to see 300 corpses laid out on a Yorkshire hillside as I did last May.
As the winner of the BBC annual poll for Best Drama in 2004, and with wins for Richard Armitage and Daniela Denby-Ash as Best Actor and Actress respectively, this 4-part drama certainly does a fantastic job of capturing the clash between class, gender, and upbringing in the mid-19th century. The programme showcases a family's struggles as newcomers to an industrial town and the prejudice they experience, particularly through the eyes of a young Margaret Hale.
But surely to give a dying baby food is not just a question of logic.
Another show adapted from the writings of Elizabeth Gaskell, this serial proved to be so popular that the show's website crashed from the amount of visitors shortly after its debut.
No, Nicholas. She's dead.
Oh. Number 2, Pride and Prejudice.
A hit, acknowledged, very good, sir.
Probably one of the best-known British period television dramas of the 20th century, this adaptation received heaps of praise for its performances, witty screenplay, and faithfulness to Jane Austen's beloved story. Featuring Colin Firth and Jennifer Ehle as Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, the show triggered a renewed interest in British period pieces and even inspired the Bridget Jones novels and films.
Bingley, I'm in no humour to give consequence to young ladies who are slighted by other men.
With much attention given to the music, choreography, costumes, makeup, and particularly the cast, the result is a 6-part series brimming with humour, social commentary, and romance. Before we unveil our top pick, here's a few honourable mentions.
Everything in order, nurse?
It would seem, Betty, as though your baby is presenting in the breech position.
You what?
It's coming out arse first.
Be careful every boy in the town isn't chasing you up the street, Minnie.
Oh, I don't want every boy.
So you are not to be rid of me, my love.
So I am not to be rid of you, my love.
Number 1, Downton Abbey.
My lord, you have my resignation.
Really, Carson, there's no need to be quite so melodramatic. You're not playing Sidney Carton.
Was there ever any doubt? One film website calls it a chronicle of the lives of the British aristocratic Crawley family and their servants in the early 20th century. While a decent summarization, a simple plot summary cannot fully encapsulate the full spectacle of this show. It has sucked in the young and old, receiving worldwide acclaim from critics and awards from the Golden Globes, the Guinness World Records, and the Primetime Emmys, to name a few.
Unfortunately, now, a complete unknown has the right to pocket my money, along with the rest of the swag.
By the third season, in what would prove to be a 6-season show, Downton Abbey was one of the most watched television drama shows on the globe. If you haven't yet watched this epic story, this is a must-see.
Even a butler has his favourites, my lady.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.